See this lady on my left hand here? Her login handle is Grinch74. She's in court today because her landlord want to kick her out. She's not paying rent. Or let me rephrase it. Other people are not paying her rent for her as they have been doing for I don't know how long. I'm not sure whether she's ever paid her rent in this building. Anyway, so she logged in as Grinch74 in this hearing, and not a good start to this hearing for her. Let's see what the judge has to say concerning this, and then let's follow on with what follows.
I have my rights and I want a lawyer.
Are you Carrie Haney?
Yes.
You come in as Grinch 74. That means there were 73 Grinches before you. When you come into court, you might want to consider what you come in named as.
Yeah, not a good start to this hearing, and I like the judge. He's very fair, but that kind of got on the wrong side of him, I think.
I had a terrible experience last year, but I'm a little better at it than I was. I also have a telephone number. I'm not sure who that is. Anyway, let's call this case. It's entitled Riverside Townhouses versus Carrie Haney. Carrie Haney has filed a motion for temporary relief from judgment and an ex parte order to stay proceedings. Rather than issue the order ex parte, I set it for hearing on short notice. I've been on vacation for 2 weeks, but I was in here last Tuesday. And last Tuesday, I asked the clerk to set the matter for hearing this afternoon, and she squeezed it in here. Sovcit Others is here on behalf of Riverside, and their new manager, Lori Casino, is here. This matter goes all the way back to April or March, but we had a hearing on May 16th. Amy Lucas was here from Keystone. They were working on having a check. We were here again on June 17th, and we made a finding that the rent due was $3,903.61. We did a judgment which was due June 27th. Now here we are on the 25th of July. Ms. Casino,
Yes.
has Riverside received any money from Keystone?
So, just for clarity, Keystone is a community-based charity organization in the area there. And they help some people sometimes with some rent. Not all the time. Not all the people. They do what they can with what they have. If they don't have money, they don't have the money. And they can't pay your rent for you. Then you kind of have to do it yourself, which I think is sort of like what you should do in the first place.
That's what
You broke up. You've received no money from Keystone?
No, we have not.
I emailed Keystone and asked them to join the hearing a while ago, and I haven't heard from them. So someone assisted you, Ms. Haney, with filing this pleading. Who helped you? Legal aid?
No, I did it online, but my SIRA application is still processing, it says.
According to who?
On my, when I go and check the status of it,
Have you talked to anybody?
I just got the email with the phone number this weekend, so I was gonna call today.
Well, all right. Ms. Hart, what's your position here?
Your Honor, we would object to any additional time given to Ms. Haney. The judgment was after a hearing, Your Honor, and the time has lapsed, not only for her to pay and stay there, but she didn't file the motion until the 29th. There is no defense to setting aside the judgment. It's been more than 30 days since the application for Sarah. We'd asked for the judgment to stand, Your Honor.
Ms. Haney?
Yes.
let's pretend we're in a court hearing and you're talking to me rather than whoever is in the room there with you. They want you to move today. They're ready to do an eviction tomorrow. And they're asking that I don't grant your stay. They asked
Just
that
don't
the,
see.
Let him talk.
I'm sorry, what do you want me to know?
I just got another thing in the mail from Riverside, last week sometime, that I had on 30 days or something like that. And then I owed another $2,900 and something dollars. It wasn't even like the same amount that I got originally.
Well, it goes up as months pass. So let's
But it's
back
gonna
up.
go up though, because my rent should be zero. That's what I'm not understanding, why it keeps adding up if I
Amazing.
don't pay rent.
Your
Yeah.
rent was $765 per month, due on the first of each month.
Nobody ever told me that my rent was that amount.
How is it possible that you can be so entitled that you don't even have to worry about your rent? Other people must pay it for you. I don't know. I suppose you fall on hard times, and people help you out. But man, you got to keep abreast of it. That's just my thoughts on that.
When I first moved in here, it was
I told you
$88.
that in court. Apparently you didn't recertify or something, but we had a hearing. You were here.
Yes.
We
And
had
then
the first hearing, just a minute. We had the first hearing May 17th. I adjourned it for 30 days from May 17th to June 17th, 31 days.
Yes.
And we had a hearing at that time, and I made a finding that you owed $3,903.61 by June 27th, or you were subject to being evicted. You were there. I explained all the circumstances to you.
And I
You
understand.
haven't paid, and Keystone
Oh my
hasn't
God.
paid. So they were ready to evict you. And then you asked for this order to stay it, which has been an additional month. And they're asking that I deny your motion and sign the writ of eviction. I have it here in front of me.
Well, it says that if my Sierra app was still in processing, I could do that.
Who says that?
The law thing that I pulled up on the thing. That's why I filled out the application.
Yeah, the attitude is not helping you. Not helping you at all. Our judge here is very friendly, very fair. He seems a little bit pissed off at this point in time. I'm just saying.
Well, all right. Well, for one thing, I don't have any proof that your Sierra application is in processing.
I can send you a screenshot.
Well, you haven't filed anything, and you haven't talked to anybody. All you've done is check your email.
I did file something with Riverside.
I adjourned the matter once, 30 days, which you're entitled. I am entitled to you're not entitled to a 30. Well, you had it. You had it from June 27th or May 7th, May 16th to June 17th. We already adjourned it for 30 days. And
he just keeps saying the same thing.
Yeah, he's saying the same thing all the time because it doesn't seem like you understand what he's saying. He can't change what he's saying because that is what he's supposed to say to make you understand where you're at this point in time. Not sure you understand though.
Asking that I immediately grant the eviction, which is pretty heavy stuff.
Being that they let people run around here breaking out, and I've got 4 kids, but they'll let stay in here that destroy their apartments. That makes no sense. Because the girl didn't like me, so she kept pushing and pushing and pushing on me. That's bull. I went and re-signed a new lease like a week after the first time they sent me a court paper. I went and filed it or signed it. I don't know why they don't have it. I don't know what happened to it, but I signed it. I sat down there for like an hour signing papers. And at that point, my rent should have been zero.
Yeah, no, it doesn't really work that way. At the end of the day, you are responsible for your rent. Not the charity, not the person in the street, you yourself. That's just what it is. It might suck, but that's how most people work this thing. They pay their rent if they don't own their house. Own their house, they pay their mortgage. But you pay. You want to stay somewhere, you pay. We all have to do that. Kind of unique, but that's what it is.
But they just kept adding it on and adding it on. And she kept putting stuff on my door and putting stuff on my door. I don't understand how it works.
Your rent isn't zero. And that wasn't raised at the earlier hearings.
But it should be zero.
And they haven't paid your rent. And the landlord wants you to move.
Because it's processing. I can't speed it up.
You haven't filed anything that says it's in processing.
I did.
Let me see.
The last court date we had, it was in processing. She pulled it up and said that they would try to push it through. So I did.
That was on June 17th. Well, they didn't.
Yeah.
They haven't paid it.
And it is still processing. I can't do anything about it.
Well, neither can they. You haven't paid your rent. So you're saying, well, someone else is supposed to pay my rent. Well, they haven't paid it.
I'm not saying someone else. I'm saying the application that I applied for, I can't push it through any further. I can't jump to the government and make them push it through.
She either doesn't understand or does not want to understand. Unfortunate both instances, very unfortunate, but that is where we're at with this lady.
Yeah,
I can't because it's bull. She was just on here with us the last time and told them she would try to push it through. That's not my fault.
Ms. Hart, are you willing to give 10 days?
Your Honor, this case has been ongoing since April. That's not amendable to the complex. She's, as you can see, very combative. We would just want
the one time. I've been on these calls for freaking 4 different times and I've been fine because I'm tired. I'm tired of it. They've been picking at me.
Calm down.
Yeah, being not combative, and then have a little bit of an outburst, that kind of doesn't gel. Fact of the matter is you haven't paid rent. Doesn't matter who you think or thought might have to pay your rent for you. Fact of the matter is you have not paid your rent. You are responsible for the rent. Nobody else. Not the charity, not the government. No, you are. So it might be a good idea to, I don't know, try and get a job. Maybe there's a medical issue, I don't know. But if there's nothing wrong with you, then maybe get a job. Most people do that kind of stuff on a day-to-day basis to pay their rent, buy their food, that kind of stuff.
I'm sorry that this is the way it is.
The whole time, and they don't let me talk every time.
This wasn't my idea, but you're not paying your rent. You're asking the government to pay your rent. The government hasn't paid it. I don't know why they haven't paid it, but they have not.
It's still in processing. I cannot speed up the processing. It's not up to me. Marvin, stop! You're not making it better for me.
Who's there with you?
I have tried and tried and tried. I've applied for stuff. I filled stuff out on the computer.
All right,
I've gone through everything they told me to go through.
Yeah, maybe you should try filling out a job application. That might be one of them. Of course, if you are capable of doing that. I'm not sure there's any issues there. But most of us kind of do that every day. We go to work to pay our bills. Rent would be part of our bills. I'm just saying.
Well, they didn't pay your rent. And
That
for
is
that, I'm
still
sorry.
processing.
All right, this is going to be very unpleasant. Keystone has not
has.
responded to
And
them.
I
They haven't
tried to
responded to me.
communicate, but this girl up here that they had as the manager didn't like me. She refused to talk to me every time I tried.
Your motion for ex parte order to stay the eviction is denied. What you effectively got is a 1 month stay from June 27th to July 25th. But I've signed the writ of eviction. They're not even willing to give you any additional time. So they could start tomorrow with evicting you. So they want you to go, and they want you to go immediately, and I don't like that much.
I have 4 kids. Like, I can't just go.
Yeah, it sucks what the judge just said there, but I totally understand. These people run a business. They do not run a charity. The charity that you are linked to, not paying your rent for whatever reason. So you have to pay your rent. Not the business's problem. Not their problem. They need to get paid.
I would immediately contact Keystone, even if they probably won't accept Keystone's payment because they want you to move.
But they have druggies out here breaking out windows. That's cute.
All right, so this is where the video ends. Now, having said that, she doesn't have to concern herself about other people in other apartments, what they do, what they don't do. She's got to concern herself with the apartment she's in. Bottom line is you have to pay your rent. Whether you have people on the hook to pay for you or whether you pay it yourself, that rent has to be paid. If it doesn't get paid, you get evicted. That's just how the system works. Not saying it's fair, not saying it's not fair. That is how the system works. And based on what I've heard here, she's had a lot of opportunities to sort herself out. Doesn't seem like she's doing it. As far as I'm concerned, it sucks to be her at this point in time, but I think it's largely her doing. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and say hi in the comments down below. It does help us a lot. See you in the next one.